Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Mishra and this will be your day 8 related to Python basic. Today we are going to discuss about list comprehension where we discuss about for loop to comprehension, and also we discuss about some kind of set comprehension and list comprehension. So what this list comprehension does, basically list comprehension are a tool for transforming one list into another list. During this transformation, elements can be conditionally included in the new list and each element can be transformed as needed, right? So without wasting the time, let's move ahead and let's discuss about loop for loop to comprehension. The same problem which we discussed in the last class, ki I need to find the square of each element and want to store all those elements in an empty list, and that was k, right? So if I use my traditional for loop, so I just need to mention for I in a, and then I need to mention k dot append of this I ka square, because I want to store the square of each element in this k, and in the last I need to print my k. So when I execute this cell, my problem has solved now, because my task was to find the square of each element, right? So my task was to find the square of each element. So yes, I did it, but using for loop. So can I convert that for loop into list comprehension? Yes, absolutely. And this is a very easy technique. How? See, first of all, we need to mention a list, like big bracket for my list. Then I need to mention my output sequence. And what is my output sequence? The number of square. And then my input sequence, and my input sequence is for number in the list of numbers, like of for the I in a. And then if we have some kind of if statement, so then we can mention that if statement here. Okay, so that was my a, right? And I need to create a list comprehension, so I mention this list symbol. Then I need to mention my output sequence. So what is my output sequence? My output sequence is I is square. Then I need to mention my for loop. What is my for loop? This is my for loop. Okay, and boom, we have solved that problem. So previously we need to use 1, 2, 3. At least we need to use 3 lines. So instead of those 3 lines, we are able to solve the same problem in a single line of code. So my life is easy now to use this for loop comprehension. But here is a problem. Key, you cannot convert all for loop into list comprehension. You can only convert those for loop into list comprehension when you have only one expression for the for loop, right? Okay. Next, let's go ahead and let's discuss about to find the square of only those values which are even. Then how we can solve that problem? So first we would like to solve the same problem using my traditional for loop for I in a. Then I need to mention the if statement. If I divide I with 2 and the remainder is 0, then I want to store k dot append I ka square, right? And then like k is equals to empty list, and in the last we can print this k. So this was my traditional this was my traditional way to use this for loop, right? Okay, see, I'm getting the square of each element. But next, my task is to convert that list comprehension, this traditional for loop into list comprehension. Then how we can do that? See, first of all, I need to mention my empty variable k. Then I need to mention my output sequence. So what is my output sequence? This is my output sequence. Then I need to mention my for loop. So yes, this was my for loop. At the end, we need to mention my for if statement. Yes, so I have mentioned my if statement. So k is equals to, first I need to mention my input sequence, then I need to mention my for loop, and after that I need to mention my if statement. So done, we have solved the problem using list comprehension. Now I want to make this problem little bit tricky. This time I want the square of those elements which are even. and I want the cube of those numbers which are odd. Append I is cube, right? So I will get the square of even number and I will get the cube of odd number. Then how we can solve the problem? Might be possible ki your answer is that ki first I need to mention if statement after my for loop, then I can mention my else output like else, then my output, and my output is i's cube. So what do you think, guys? Is it true? No, that is absolutely wrong, because this is invalid syntax. So whenever you have if and else statement both, whenever you have if and else statement both, that time you need to mention if and else statement before your for loop. So I put this output is sequence for my if statement, then I mention my if statement, after that I need to mention my else, and then else condition like else output, and at the end we need to mention my for loop, and now my problem has solved. Always remember, whenever you have only if statement, that time you need to mention that if statement after for loop. But when you have if and else statement both, that time you need to mention if and else statement both before your for loop. And that's all about your list comprehension using if and else, like for loop list comprehension using if and else both conditions. Next, the same problem we have already discussed in the last class ki we need to find the we need to remove this day from each word. So what was my traditional way to solve this problem? I can use print, I can use slicing method. I is -3. So I want to start the values from 0th index and I want to end all those values with -3rd index, right? I'm getting my problem has solved. Can I convert this into list comprehension? Yes, I can convert that into list comprehension. First I need to mention my output sequence, and then I need to mention my for loop, and then I can print this k and I will get same answer. So yes, this code also we can convert into list comprehension. So in short, you can say list comprehension we use to convert a for loop into list comprehension, and it will be very easy to solve that problem because only one line is enough to solve that problem statement. Okay, guys, next we will discuss about set comprehension. In set comprehension, okay, let me solve that problem statement. We have this Heisenberg code. My task is that to find the each element from this I want to extract the first element from each word, and those words cannot be duplicated, right? Again, I'm repeating my question. My question is that I want to find the first element from each word, but those words cannot duplicate, right? So let's solve that problem statement. So first of all, I need to split that value dot split, and then I need to use for loop for I in a. Then I need to print, not print, let me use this thing, k is equals to empty list. Inside that k I'm appending all those 0th index value, right? In the last I can print this k. Done. So yes, we are able to extract the first element from each word. We are able to extract the first element from each word, but my task was different. My task was that to get the only those values which are unique, or we cannot have duplicate values. So what else we can do? Okay, first of all, let me solve this problem statement. Like we can use set, and then I can use this k. So I'm converting this list into set. So those are my unique values. Those are my unique values. So can I convert this code into list comprehension? Yes, we can. How? See. First of all, I need to mention my output sequence. So yes, this is my output sequence. Then I need to mention my for loop. This is my for loop. And then I can print this k, right? And also I can use this set because I need to forcefully convert this list into set. So this was my another method. And we have one more method. Instead of this list, we can use this set comprehension. Right now there is no need to use this set because already we put all those values in set. So when I execute this cell, I will get only set values, and the property of set is key we can only have the unique values or we cannot have duplicate values. And yes, this was all about your list comprehension. I know this list comprehension class was very short, but this was most important because sometime we we can use this for list comprehension, for loop list comprehension, to make the code easier. But always remember, we cannot convert all the for loop into list comprehension, but yes, we can convert all the list comprehension into for loop. So that's all about this list comprehension. In the next class, we discuss about some kind of functions. Till then, bye bye, take care everyone.